Real truth daily. This is Daily Truths with Dave Ahlman.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Daily Truths. There's a story told about a Niccolo Paganini, maybe you've heard about it, who is playing a concerto violin in front of a packed audience in Carnegie Hall many years ago. He got about halfway through the piece when suddenly a string broke and hung down from the violin. Many violinists at that time would have stopped and restrung and started over, but not Paganini. He improvised on the 3 strings that remained until suddenly a second string broke, about 2/3 the way through the piece. Now he had a choice. He could stop and start over, or he could improvise on the 2 strings that remained, and that's exactly what he did. He focused on the 2 strings that remained. He focused on the 2 strings that remained and improvised on those 2 strings until, you guessed it, about 3 or 4 measures from the end of the piece, a 3rd string broke and now hung down from the violin. 3 dangling strings. But Paganini chose not to focus on those dangling strings. He focused on the one he could play. And when he was done, people applauded until their hands were numb. Never had they seen such a thing done anywhere before. And when they were done applauding, they sat down and weren't expecting an encore, but that's exactly what he gave them. He lifted up his violin aloft and said, "Paganini, and 1 string." And then he played a concerto piece, an encore piece, better on 1 string than most violinists could on 4. I guess you'd say it boiled down to Niccolo Paganini and 1 string. We're in the book of Matthew chapter 14, and as you remember, Peter has gotten out of the boat and started walking towards Jesus, fixing his eyes on Jesus, and everything was fine until we come to verse 30, and this is what it says. "But when Peter saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried out, 'Lord, save me.'" He was focusing on the dangling strings. He was looking at the wind and what the wind was doing, throwing these waves up against him, and he started to sink. He took his eyes off of Jesus and gave attention, here it is, to the dangling strings. My friends, you have a choice in life. You can either focus your full attention, your thought process, your faith on the Lord Jesus Christ. That's the 1 string. Or you can focus on the dangling strings. And what are those? I call them 3 strings: the inevitables, the non-essentials, and the uncontrollables of life. The inevitables, things that are going to come your way, whether we like it or not. The non-essentials, things that from an eternal perspective really don't matter that much. And the uncontrollables, things that are going to happen to us beyond our control. Have you ever noticed how we, like Peter, focus on the wind, the dangling strings, instead of fixing our attention on the one who gives, as we talked about yesterday, comfort and strength and pardon and peace? What is it in your life? What is the dangling strings of your life that would rob you of the comfort and strength and peace and pardon that is found in Jesus Christ? May I encourage you to be like Peter, who when he got out of the boat, focused not on the wind, focused not on the dangling strings, but focused on the Lord Jesus Christ. Hey, there are going to be things in your life that are beyond your control, that are not that big a deal, and that are going to come your way whether you like it or not. You can allow those things to rob you the joy and peace and comfort and consolation and pardon that comes from Jesus, or you can say, I'm not going to focus on the wind. I'm not going to focus on the dangling string. I'm going to fix my eyes on Jesus. And I encourage you to do that. And when you do that, oh, the peace that will come your way. Don't focus on the dangling strings. Focus on the 1 string you can play. Fixing our thoughts, our focus, our faith, our attention on the one who can still the storms, on the one who can walk on water, on the one who went to a cross and died in your place, on the one who defeated death and extends his hand to you and says, fix your eyes on me. And that is today's Daily Truth. Have a great day in the Lord Jesus Christ.
Thank you for tuning in to Daily Truths with Dave Ahlman. Pastor Dave Ahlman is the pastor of Mount Hope Church in Boulder, Colorado. If this ministry is blessing you, please consider supporting us by sharing this channel with a friend. You can also like, comment, subscribe, or leave a review. This helps us tremendously. Come back tomorrow for your next Daily Truth.